Well, hello. Today I'm reacting to Twice's Scientist on MTVFreshOut Live. I have not seen this stage yet. I have watched a bunch of the Korean TV show stages because you can't react to those on YouTube. But this, you can. So I was saving it for that. And then I didn't record anything for 2 weeks. So that's good. But Twice just dropped on their own channel the 4K version of this performance. So it turns out I wasn't too busy at work or catching up on projects I've been avoiding at home. I wasn't struggling with depression or anxiety. I was just waiting for the good version. And it's the rest of you who were impatient and made the members perform for you in 1080p garbage vision. You should be ashamed of yourselves. So, since I am so late getting to this, I feel pretty safe in assuming that you've already seen this a few times, either on your own or with other reactors. So, in addition to all of us watching the members and you watching me watch the members, I'm going to ask you to devote a little bit of your brain power to listening to the song structure as we go through it. So I've been listening to the song more or less on repeat for the last 2 weeks. I've got a lot of time for Moonlight and Last Waltz as well. Those are so far the three big winners for me from this album. I will make more time to check out the others more in depth, but so far I have trouble pulling myself away from these three. So I want to try and figure out why, for me, this song in particular was so addictive. And the producers are using a lot of tried and true pop K-pop tricks. They're just doing them really excellently. And so I thought it was worth bringing attention to some of those. So the first thing that jumps out for me when I was listening for it is the bass line, which adds a lot of the feel and character to the song. It kind of reminded me of late 80s Prince when he did a bunch of songs for the Batman movie, if any of y'all are familiar with that. So the song doesn't have any huge EDM or Blackpink style beat drops, but the producers do play with us by removing stuff like the bass line or the percussion to create tension, and then relieving that tension by giving it back to us, typically for the chorus. So for the first pre-chorus, they pull out all the bass drum, and the rest of the percussion. In fact, they just leave us with a snapping sound, and that's sort of our lifeline to the rhythm of the song, and also a promise that they will give us our stuff back when we get to the chorus. So we get to the chorus, and they give us our stuff back, and it's party time. The second pre-chorus, they pull out all of the bass, and they just leave us with the bass drum beating four on the floor, and that sort of drives us into the second chorus, where they give us our stuff back, and it's party time. So for the final pre-chorus, they pull all the percussion, and we've just got the bass line cooking behind Mina while she does her neck feature thing. But all the percussion drops right back in shortly thereafter for Nyan to flip over the cart and get her vocal feature. Then at the end of the final pre-chorus, they do leave a little bit of space where they fade everything back just so that they can create a drop for the final chorus. But again, it's not a real in-your-face drop because it's this cool funk bass line that's been simmering throughout the whole song. But the party's definitely back. However, since the final pre-chorus for most of the time included most of the instrumentation that we've been hearing throughout for the other two choruses, they kind of have to one-up themselves for the final chorus. So they add in the ad-lib vocals in the back. You can hear them if you listen for it. And also the bass and the percussion sound a little more rambunctious. The percussion for sure, they've definitely added ride cymbal and or cowbell. The bass, I'm not sure if they've really added anything or if the bass just sounds funkier and livelier because the percussion is rocking out. And then that takes us to the outro where, they can't just keep amping us up forever. So the party has to end sometime. And they give us this vocal sample, which is interesting and is something new that we haven't heard throughout the rest of the song. The bass and percussion are all still there rocking away, but I think they bring them back a little bit. And it kind of reminds me of like the party bus has just dropped you off at your house and it's now driving down the road away from you and like Doppler shifting. So like the party's going on, but you're not part of it anymore. And then we get to the end of the song and I'm always like, hey, but the song's over already? And then I go back and listen to it again. So these are some of the things that the producers have done to the structure of the song to keep us wanting more. They're teasing us. They keep giving us stuff we like and then taking it away. And then we want it back and they give it back to us. And then they take it away again. And this is not a new invention. If you're listening for it, you'll hear it all over pop and K-pop. But here, I think it's done particularly well and it's especially effective. So those are some of the things we're going to be keeping an ear out for as we watch Twice Scientist on MTV Fresh Out Live. I'm sure I'll point out a couple of them as we go. That outfit set is so good. I can't pick between this and the Scientist one for favorites. It probably varies by member. I'm still having trouble deciding which covers I want to keep for which members for which album. First pre-chorus. Let's have the bass back, shall we? Now it's a party. I love for the choruses too, on top of just setting up the chorus drops, how they alternate between these different member pairs. We have Nayeon Jihyo for this one, then we have Jihyo Sana, and then Nayeon Chui, and they each do the different parts differently, and as you would expect, but it's interesting and it keeps it fresh. I saw Dahyun back there being saucy. And this is the 4 on the floor bit. Also, hear that little wood block in the background. This location's interesting. It's very Aperture Science, isn't it? I love that she says Einstein. It's great. This part of the video with Vampire Momo, she's out of control. Yummy, yeah. And then Nayeon just rocks out. There's the ad-libs in the back. The minus thing is super fun as well. And how great is it to have the this dance feature with the rap line to start with? You don't see those three together enough. Yeah, well, you know we're watching that twice. I mean, come on. I'm going to try and focus more on background members the second time, but no promises. I love those lines in the chorus too. Mami kinindero, mami shikindero. I was so confused by the hand gestures there in the music video until I watched it a few more times. I was like, okay, I get it. And the "Why So Serious" is great. It's such a weird thing to put in a love song or a cute song, but the point choreo is just so great for it. I'm waiting for the third chorus is what I'm waiting for. And this part of the video, I think it works better when they're wearing the scientist outfits, but it's just great. It's a great feature, and when the hands go up in the opposite direction, it's just it's super captivating. I don't know why. Well, because they're twice and she's Momo, and deal with it. Okay, so that was Twice Scientist on MTV Fresh Out Live. And I only waited an appropriate amount of time for the 4K version to drop. So there. Yeah. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.